Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. For today's video, you will be watching how to make a high-speed brushless desktop DC fan. For this project, we will be using 3x3C brushless fans, which are 12 volt and rating at 1.4 amps. But first, we need to remove these rubber locks, which keeps the fans in place. And now we'll be removing the power switch and the powering jack, removing the neon light powering board from its original housing. We are now removing the broken neon light. The broken light from its holder has been carefully removed. Now carefully remove the white and blue wire from all the fans. Now drill a hole on each side of the fan, on its fan base. Be careful not to damaging the fan blades. Steel belts were used to put the fan all together securely and tightly. Following the same procedure to the other side of the fan to keep the fans all together. Now bending the steel belt using pliers to keep the fan all together securely and tightly. Remove the excess belt which is no longer needed. Drill some extra holes for passing the wires through the channels. Now fixing the fan base holder by applying some super glue. Let it sit for an hour to dry. Passing the wire through the drilled channels for each of the fan. It seems the half portion of the holder is now dry. Now strip all the wires to a specific length for twisting all together. Now solder all the negative wire together and all the positive wire together. use heat shrink tubing to prevent any short circuit. Now using screws and bolts for making electrical contact between the fan tower and base. Keeping in mind for the polarity, as these fans does not work with reverse polarity. Now making a hook and securely tightening each end of the wire using bolts. Now using 2 compound adhesive, we will now securely install the second part of the holder. Putting both the screw backs tightly before the adhesive dries. Using more 2 compound adhesive for strengthening the fan holder. Now installing the fan grills for the front side of the fan for safety and protections. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now cutting and using the rubber hose for securely cushioning the powering pins. We are now going to use PWM for controlling and regulating the fan speed. And we are going to use 6 into 3.7 volt 2000 milliamp hour batteries for powering up the fan. Keep in mind to check each one of these batteries' power polarities. It is highly recommended to use high-quality battery overcharge protection board. Now we will be using heat shrink casing for protecting the battery from any short circuit. The battery assembly is now completed and it is now ready to install into the fan. Now drill a hole to install the PWM into the housing. Now using the double-sided adhesive tape to install the battery into the housing. Now solder the wires to the powering jack. Also solder 2 wires to power switch. Don't forget the heat shrink tubing. Now wire up the PWM for the motor side. Now solder both wires to the powering connection that powers up the fan. Also connect 2 wires to power up PWM. Now drill a hole to install the LED. Also solder the LED to PWM for power indication. Now join the negative PWM wire to the battery. Now insert the heat shrink tubing. Also join the negative wire from the powering jack to the battery. Now solder them all and cover them up using heat shrink tubing. Now insert the heat shrink tubing to this power switch wire. Connect it with the positive of the battery. Now solder them and cover them up using heat shrink tubing. Now continue wiring and soldering as shown in the video. The powering jack positive wire, the switch wire and the PWM positive wire are connected now together. Solder it as shown and secure it using heat shrink tubing. Applying some hot glue to secure the LED. As the wiring is completed, close the housing using 4 screws underneath. And now the fan is completed. It seems the battery is charging, the power switch is working as normal, the PWM is working as expected. Now let's install the fan and see the moment of truth. The fan seems to be working pretty good, as expected. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.